Billy, you go back to when it all started with practice in October, games in November. It's all down to this one, and D. Brown and Illinois will have first possession.
And here it is, D. Brown, McCants, Felton on Williams, Manuel on Head.
McCants all over Brown. Out high they go to Powell, who started on Saturday in that second half, as did Luther Head with the ball right now.
And normally whoever Manuel guards is the coach that says, I respect Head the most of these scores.
Williams with the jumper, and just as he did against Louisville on Saturday at the first basket of the game.
And it's going to be Brown on Felton. So that means it's Williams, McCants. Fans early watch this matchup. And there you can see Head is laying off Manuel, so he's almost double teaming May inside. Here comes the double.
Carolina works it around McCants. Back of the rim with a three. Jawad pulls it back out. Carolina will restart.
And you can see they're going to double down from the weak side on May. Wide open, too big for Powell.
Yep, no question about that. Just out-muscled him in the lane to match baskets.
Very seldom is Deron Williams is he guarded by a smaller man. He is so powerful. I'm very surprised at this matchup because he will take Felton inside. He's clever with the ball. That upper body strength will give Felton serious problems.
So the foul on Felton and Williams to inbound.
I think they'll have to make a change on that defensive assignment.
Williams again. This a three. Down and out. Manuel comes in for the board.
Doesn't get the ball to Felton. Manuel brings it up. One of the things Illinois does extremely well is get back on defense.
Open man, McCants. Thought about it. Now will take it. Three. This time,
yes. Great touch and a tremendous follow-through on that shot.
That one looked like it wanted to just kind of pop out, but it settled in for the three.
Well, you're right, Jim. The guy with a great follow-through will get that bounce.
Follow-up shot, Augustine off the Powell miss, and Carolina's running. Breaking ahead is McCants.
Good finisher.
And he scores.
McCants is an excellent finisher, and Felton knows how to pass. Jim, these two teams have played against each other in the last 2 years, both winning a game. Brown played great one year and terrible the next, and the same with Felton.
Powell with a hook shot. Rolls off the rim. Carolina's breaking again. Felton takes middle. Challenges Augustine, and he'll head to the line.
Felton using a screener there, and Augustine didn't have much chance.
North Carolina, a program that's been to the Final Four at least once in the last 7 decades, going through Oakland University, Iowa State, Villanova by 1, Wisconsin, Michigan State. Big Ten victims the last 2 outings, and another Big Ten opponent today. Felton at the line to shoot a pair.
Jim, as a freshman against Illinois, Felton played 38 minutes. He had 9 points and he had 8 turnovers. Brown got the best of him with 4 steals in that game. That was reversed completely last year when D. Brown went 3 for 17, only had 8 points, and it was North Carolina that won. So they're very familiar with each other, having played. Most of these same players played in both of those games.
You saw Carolina trade out Williams, Jawad out, Marvin in. So a 9-point run for the highest scoring team in the land. 9-2 Tar Heels early.
With Ron Williams, you want to take Felton some more. See if he can pick up that second foul on him early in this ball game.
The head driving, and they wave off the basket. He traveled first.
Manuel, with those long arms, plays about 6'7". So Head's got his hands full there. Manuel, an all-defensive player from the ACC.
Here's the road to the championship through Fairleigh Dickinson, Nevada, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Arizona, and Louisville. And let's stress road, not air. All bus rides to their sites, including right here, 2-hour and 45-minute drive from their campus. And that's D. Brown with the hand check.
Foolish foul by Brown. His job is just to stay in front of Felton. Don't worry about stealing the ball, and certainly stay out of foul trouble. And you talked about Marvin Williams coming in for Gerard Williams. That's an interchangeable piece for North Carolina. No fall off there, even though Gerard has more experience.
Near steal, Luther Head got his hands in there. Carolina gets it back.
Ingram's going to have problems here.
Yep, Ingram has checked in to see if he can stop May. They feed Manuel, had a good look, missed with the left hand.
Brown going to the far corner, looking for the jump shot. Here he comes.
Gives it over to Ingram instead.
Good scouting report. Williams respecting his jump shot.
D. Brown with the three. Oh, and it's a long one. Gantz. Underneath, it's Carolina. Marvin Williams. Tar Heel ball.
That was a good job by Head because had Marvin Williams got that ball, Jimmy had an easy layup. You're going to see McCants, rather than trying to put the ball on Williams, shoot a lot of standstill jumpers and use that height advantage that he has, try to go over. But look at him take that ball.
Yeah, that's Williams forcing the tie-up. The arrow remains in the Carolina corner.
Williams so strong in that upper body. He looks like he's slow, but he moves his feet, and he has great ability to anticipate the movement of the player he's guarding.
Everything he does with tremendous smoothness. And there's a foul on Williams.
Interesting, posting up on Williams inside. He's usually out on the perimeter.
Billy, what's so fascinating about this matchup is what triggered it all. With Roy Williams at Kansas, Bill Self at Illinois, Matt Doherty at North Carolina, and once Williams, after the championship game loss to Syracuse, moved over to Chapel Hill, well, Bruce Weber in the mix after Self went to Kansas. He became the Illinois coach. Self, in short, would not be the Illinois coach if Roy Williams had never left Kansas.
Well, all three pretty successful. Great hands.
It's Felton putting it up. And long rebound to Williams. Up ahead to D. Brown.
Blazer.
Not going to stop him.
I tell you, you get him out on the run. Felton's quick, but he's not faster than Brown. Felton may be quicker with the ball, but Brown's faster with the feet.
And another takeaway for Illinois. Luther Head. This for the lead. Ingram crashes the boards, puts it up and in for the tie.
Ingram has been so valuable coming off the bench. He and Smith gave a big lift to Illinois against Louisville in the first half.
That's a 7-point run for Illinois.
There's that weak side help. Bad.
But Darren Williams on the baseline.
You will not be able to lob that ball inside because weak side help is coming for Illinois.
Ball to Carolina out of the break. Jim Nance and Billy Packer here in St. Louis. And, you know, Roy Williams, I mentioned in his second year with the program as head coach. Of course, his history is a long and deep history. 72 graduate, 73 master's degree, and a 10-year assistant to Dean Smith coming back to Chapel Hill. Just his second season. And interesting to note, Billy, how these two coaches really have made it to the title game with players who were recruited by the predecessors.
That is certainly true.
Matt Doherty and his staff, the bulk of this North Carolina team, aside from Marvin Williams.
Defensive change adjustment right now. Head is on McCants.
Rod Williams back out Felton. Here's a three.
Brown was lucky on that particular play. He let Felton go, and Felton, pretty good outside shooter, shoots in the mid-40s. Head wide open. Bad mistake, North Carolina.
Rod Williams thought he had it, but it's Powell muscling, tipped out, and a foul is going to be called here. Called on North Carolina.
Powell jumping over, through, and tougher than two North Carolina players who have about 3 inches apiece on him. Just would not be denied for that rebound.
Had that whatever it takes attitude in the second half on Saturday. That was on Marvin Williams, his first. And look out, this one got away from him.
Yeah, but Brown,
not when D. Brown's chasing.
Right. Brown, unlike any other player in the court, just runs it down.
They call him the one-man fast break. He is something else, lightning fast.
And nobody in the low post except when a guy breaks in like Powell is right now. Again, not getting to Luther Head. North Carolina going way behind. Not even a good screen that time. Just Head went out beyond the perimeter.
That is now 10 unanswered for the fight in the Illini. Luther Head getting a lot of good looks.
Good looks because of faulty defense by North Carolina. Very lackadaisical.
And that's Jawad Williams matching the three at the other end.
Picking up right where he left off.
What a game he had Saturday, Billy, against Michigan State.
And we talked about those other games these two teams have played. He had 15-8 and 18-12 in the two games he's played in his career against Illinois.
Watt had 20 points in 23 minutes against the Spartans in a huge first half.
And after having a miserable tournament up to that point.
Pete Brown, he's already hit one, not this time. David Noel has checked in for the Tar Heels, and he comes away with it.
Good job by Illinois getting back on missed shots so that North Carolina can't get that patented break going.
So with May on the bench, McCants, the jumper. Ball on the floor, and again it's Powell. But he gave it up to McCants.
Good job by McCants to stay with it instead of going back down court and turning his head.
14-12 North Carolina.
North Carolina's given Illinois guards much too much room. And with their ability to pass and shoot outside, that presents a problem.
Darren Williams driving. Tough shot, and he was fouled in the act.
That's 2 on Felton, and I thought that matchup for Felton could get him in problems against the bigger Williams. Too early on Felton. He's asking Coach Williams to stay in the game. They're going to have to make a change on that defensive assignment.
They already had Melvin Scott at the scorer's table about to check in. And a reminder, you can get official NCAA championship gear plus streaming video highlights of every tournament game. Just go to CBSSportsline.com.
And that 1-point win over Villanova, Jim, you'll remember Felton fouled out of that ball game. It is the one position that North Carolina really doesn't have a replacement. He wants to stay in the game, but yeah, but they're going to have to change the assignment because Williams just too big for it.
Well, you mentioned the Villanova game where he fouled out, and the Tar Heels held on. Don't forget also that Felton missed the season opener where they were shocked by Santa Clara. He is critical, and May beats him down the floor.
And that was a good job by Williams, realizing I'm not going to stop that big guy, so don't pick up a cheap foul. May, as we know, improved himself so much from a stamina standpoint, really gets up and down the floor.
Augustine misses the shot.
North Carolina creating numbers here.
Well, it's 3-on-3, so Felton takes the pull-up jumper, and it'll be Illinois ball. Illinois has brought in Rich McBride. And Felton feed it.
Right, excellent hit ahead, but that's what makes that play is you've got a big guy that's willing to run the court. Sean May giving himself a birthday present. Today is the young man's birthday.
21. Quentin Thomas has checked in. Felton sits, Billy.
Right.
Underneath they go. Melvin Scott trying to get a hand in there.
Nice reverse pass.
Head open. And look at Powell again with the body, able to take it away from Jawad Williams.
He sure did. He just out-muscled him on the inside. Tough shot.
Fade away, doesn't go, and Darren Williams pulls it down for Illinois.
North Carolina not attacking the basket very well for offensive rebounds.
Head on drive. Thomas, the freshman from Oakland, California, loses it right to Luther Head.
No place to go for the freshman, and this is where North Carolina gets in trouble when Felton has to sit. But he's got 2 fouls, and Roy Williams doesn't want to get him back in there yet.
See McCants about to come in. Look at Powell outside. 3, yes.
Oh, right where he left off.
We talked the other day about how infrequent it is he hits a 3. And he knocked one down, then missed another, and followed it up with a dunk. May bullies his way and gets the basket. Powell tried to draw the charge.
But look at Williams. He knows he can take the freshman and does.
They wave off the basket, foul first on Quentin Thomas of Carolina. No basket.
Williams is so smart. Here we see the dunk by May.
You know, Rick Pitino in Louisville went out on Saturday's semifinal game, as did Tom Izzo's Michigan State bunch. Rick Pitino talked about it in Olympic medal terms, talked about his team ending up with a bronze medal. Tonight, of course, they go for the gold here in the first U.S. city to ever host the Olympic Games back in 1904. Going back to Illinois here, and the Illini has brought in Warren Carter, number 41.
Jim, I thought that ball might have touched Carter's hands after it hit Noah. Ref didn't see it that way, and here's the matchups. Noel on Carter, Scott now on Williams.
Think we've seen the last of Felton in this half?
I would be surprised if he comes back in if North Carolina stays close. But obviously, Roy Williams, that'll be dictated by the score of the game. Nice pick and roll.
And they converge on Augustine and draw the charge. Heads up play by the senior Melvin Scott.
It really was, Jim, because he had no chance to block the shot or reach. and just stayed in there, and that's going to bring Ingram in. Augustine has to go out.
Billy, I don't mean to be a pest, but just to remind everyone for one last time, Locust. There is a buzz about this coming Sunday, April 24th on CBS. At least that's what the card says.
Jim, I think right now North Carolina better be careful with Scott back here on Brown. They might have to set some screens so that they just get the ball over half court. Nice dish.
A good dish to Manuel, unable to finish. And Illinois comes out quickly. Williams, he'll take the three.
Surprising.
Yep, Scott able to anticipate the board.
Look at that defensive recovery by Illinois. Tough to break against this team.
Double team on McCants, and that's touched out by Powell with 23 on the shot clock.
Tell you, when you play against Illinois, particularly against Williams, you cannot reach for the ball. You've got to go two hands and use your body as well, because his upper body strength will take it away from you. North Carolina very fortunate there, because that was a turnover that was going the other way for an Illinois basket. McCants posted up on Williams.
We worked it back over to May's side. Ingram reach in. You know, Billy, this was a big issue going into this game. How would Illinois defend Sean May? And what you've seen to this point, what do you think? As Felton is coming back in.
I think that they would be better off not reach and use that double team trapping from the weak side, because when you reach, May is so strong and so wide, you're going to pick up that cheap foul.
Inbound pass to Marvin Williams.
Really breakdown defensively by Powell on that play. Now you've got Carter in the game, very inexperienced. North Carolina, how about this? They go to their point zone to try to save Felton. So rather than playing man-to-man defense, they go point zone. A good way to protect Felton, who'd be up on the top. Not a position where you'd pick up fouls. Again, no trapping here, no doubling. Too late to get there.
May, his first miss after knocking down his first three shots.
Nice block out by Carter. Where was Marvin Williams on that rebound? Here you see this zone defense now. Felton's up on top. Head's not in the ball game. He's on the sideline, so that takes away their primary outside shooter.
Williams with 12 on the shot clock. Kicks it back over. D. Brown. Jackie Manuel closes in. Now they must hurry with 6. Work it around. Carter. Not the one they want to shoot. Ingram crashes in. Tip back out. And McCants tries to save it, and they grant him the timeout. They grant him the aerial timeout.
Good job going for the loose ball on McCants' part.
McCants makes the play. Tar Heel ball. 3-point lead. What stands out to you, Billy?
Well, obviously field goal shooting percentage for North Carolina. And there you have rebounding about even, but points in the paint. But I don't even think that North Carolina, with Augustine having 2 fouls on him, have gone into May as much as we're going to expect to see the rest of the way in this second half. Because Ingram is going to have his hands full, and now it's going to be Powell on May, Ingram on Williams. Powell has played tough and strong, but he's given up a lot of size to be inside on May.
Manuel lost his footing, fortunate to get it back. Snaps it over. Here's the shot for 3. Yes, Felton.
Boy, that was fortunate for Manuel that he's about 6'6" to be able to see cross court. Surprisingly, they come back out in and they stay in that zone. I thought for a second Felton had me faked out. I thought he was picking up Williams. I'm saying, I can't believe Roy Williams, who's made a nice move going to the zone, would ever allow Felton with 2 fouls on him to match up against Williams in this half.
Last 7 points to the Tar Heels. Luther Head.
It helps to have that man in there. Ingram is doing the job on the boards.
Will they call that on Jackie Manuel?
Yep. And Ingram now showing that he's really going to be able to step up here and do a nice job, not only shooting from the outside for the situation where Augustine finds himself out. Now Smith comes in.
Nick Smith, a senior, who's already graduated with a finance degree. In fact, will get a master's degree this May. And Ingram, with some hard work, good work, goes to the bench with 4 rebounds. And Williams gets it back. Tries to set up Luther Head. Will snap it around with those guards, all first-team Big Teners. And Powell, not this time on the three, off the hand of Manuel of North Carolina. Got the under 8 timeout. Had a series of runs. Carolina now up 6. And a look at the Coca-Cola tournament summary. 4th time Billy Packer since '79. The 2 #1 seeds meet in the championship game, the first since 1999, when Duke and UConn were both 1s and met in a thrilling final.
And that was a game in which Duke came in with 37 wins, and like all the other teams that have come into this championship with 37 wins, they were not able to come away with the championship.
Illinois trying to snap that tonight.
Right.
Give them the record for most wins in one season in the history of college basketball.
Extra pass, gives Head a wide open look.
Yep.
Nice job.
Couldn't work it around any better than that for the 3.
And with Head back in the ball game now, they surround that zone with 3 outstanding perimeter shooters. Nick Smith now will take a shot at May.
That broke a 4-minute scoring drought for the Illini. May goes around Smith.
Nice double pump. Smith started actually in the game that was played against these 2 teams last year. He had a terrible game. He was 0 for 7, did not score. Now we know he's used primarily as a backup, and actually the second backup big man. Here's where this team is so good on the perimeter. They're patient the way they throw that ball around.
Ball got away. Pass was a little wide for Powell.
No numbers.
McCann's aware of that. He pulls back. Carolina's first 5 on the floor, and that's tipped out. Last touch by the Tar Heels.
Jim, that was a sloppy pass going on the inside. May showed that he has too much quickness for Smith. North Carolina lost a good opportunity to score there.
Ingram back on the floor. Williams fires it, and Jawad Williams for Carolina pulls it away.
And if you're Illinois right now, try to draw a charge on Felton. Try to pick up the foul on the offensive end, because the zone is saving him on the defensive end from picking up that 3rd foul. Hold by Williams.
Some Illinois fans were signaling traveling, but nothing doing there as the foul is called on Williams. That's his 2nd, and here's Marvin Williams for North Carolina as May goes to the bench. I keep waiting for Marvin Williams to put up some of those numbers like we saw in the first 2 rounds, Billy, when he really starred in wins against Oakland and Iowa State. And McCann's pass is picked off. Out to Head, 3-point shot.
Missed opportunity there, the 3-on-1. I don't know what Head was waiting for, because Williams got there in time to stop the shot.
McCann's, that was a 3 try.
That's a push on the inside. I think that's going to be on Manuel. Both teams, bad shot selection the last 2 times down the floor. And Jim, when you start talking about foul situations, both of these teams shoot the same percentage. But North Carolina is a team that is unbelievable. They shot 202 more free throws than did their opponents. Illinois, on the other hand, with their perimeter shooting, only shot 46 more fouls than their opponents. So you can see who gets to that line much more often.
Of course, Illinois, that perimeter team, and that's the real heart of their team. The Brown, Williams, and Head trio. Each team now with 6 team fouls. That was the 2nd on Manuel a moment ago. The Illini in a cold spell here, having missed 9 of its last 10. Ingram takes the 3, top of the key, and that's an unexpected little bonus.
Well, he really can do that, as we all talk about the big shots he made against Wisconsin. And now you have Marvin Williams on the inside trying to take him, and does.
Yeah, there you go. Marvin Williams with his first 2. And only 2 in 23 minutes of action against Michigan State.
Well, he was 1 for 12 the last 2 ball games. Very unlike him.
On the baseline, ball squirts out. It still belongs to Illinois with 5 minutes to go in the half.
Roy Williams going to come back with Felton and May with a 4-point lead. With this much time, he's got to probably stay in that zone to keep Felton out of trouble.
And look how Coach Bruce Weber counters. He brings back Augustine with 2 fouls on the floor.
Much to rest Powell a little bit, who's been going hard, but you notice he hasn't been as active on the boards when he wasn't quite as tired.
They have 20 on the shot clock.
Felton is back on Williams. That really surprises me.
And a whistle first.
That's going to be Emmanuel again.
That's 3, and he's in foul trouble for the 2nd straight game. Sean May taking it to Powell that time. Powell again, just a huge size advantage on the break.
And Mayhew had his dad's 1976 film of that ball game in his knapsack throughout this tournament, and decided last night, hey guys, let's take a look at how my dad's team won a national championship. And he looked at it, and it gave him some inspiration for this game.
Ingram at the line, 1-1. He'll shoot one more. He's actually been carrying that around in his gym bag since Christmas Eve, waiting to show the team that 76 Indiana championship when his father was the National Player of the Year. His father has been very clear about it since he arrived at Chapel Hill, that this is Sean's time. I had my time. It's not my time. And he's tried to stay out of the way and just lend support to his son. Pass got away from Carolina, but out to Noel. David Noel in with Manuel on the bench, and Felton putting up some big shots. Has he ever improved in that department this year?
Oh, without question, Jim. We're talking about a guy who shot in the low 30s from three, now in the mid 40s. Really improved his shot by tucking in that elbow a little bit and squaring up. Brown tries to counteract.
Yep, and took that shot right over Felton, who had to back off. Felton named the Bob Cousy Award winner today by the folks from the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame. Well, Mr. Cousy gave Felton the award around 11 o'clock this morning. And Scott from the corner, bouncing around twice and tipped out by Augustine.
Bob Cousy, who had a chance, it was not a star, but played on that Holy Cross National Championship. And certainly quite an honor to get an award from a man who certainly was the prototype of point guards as we know it in modern basketball.
And that Hall of Fame gathering here in St. Louis, also with the official announcement of the 2005 class, Billy, and it includes the last two men to win national championships in Jim Calhoun and Jim Boeheim, as well as Coach Hubie Brown and Coach Sue Gunter also going into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Good fake back screen by Felton, doesn't work out. Nice job by Ingram staying right with Williams.
The key three, Jawad knocks it down. Jawad Williams, in Carolina has its largest lead of the title game.
Well, we said both of these teams shoot from a percentage standpoint about exactly the same from the three-point range, except Illinois takes so many more. There's that extra pass again.
Boy, do they whip it around quickly. Still, Carolina's able to converge. Head will try the baseline move and unable to get it dropped. No whistle. Powell the second time, no call, and the ball comes out to Felton. Illinois fans are livid.
And it's 5-on-4 now because Powell was down on the floor.
McCants thought about it. He'll drive in instead, and the floater rolls off, and that's off the ankle of Darren Williams.
Marvin Williams so anxious to get rebounds that he just can't seem to grasp the ball when it's right in his hand.
Carolina 52% from the field, leading by 8. Chip Nance along with Billy Packer, Roy Williams, really the focus of much attention. 40 total wins in the tournament without a championship. Eddie Sutton, then the great Guy Lewis as well. McCants, this is the second time they beat him on the inbounds pass.
Backs turn to the ball. You've got to be able to see ball and cutters. Second huge mistake in an out-of-bounds situation by Illinois in this half. Very unlike this ball club.
8 unanswered for Carolina to take the double-digit margin.
And there you see, they're staying in this zone right now to protect Felton. It's been extremely effective, even against this outstanding shooting club. There's a bad errant pass.
How have they done it, Billy? This is now twice.
Yes, you can see that they have their back turned to the passer, and a good cut by McCants.
North Carolina's had 3 separate long runs in this game, now up 10. Felton on the drive, kicks it back out. Noel seeing a lot of action with Manuel down with 3 fouls. McCants in the paint, tried to dish it, and Illinois read it.
Good defense that time. McCants was going to go for the shot. It was taken away from him. Back to man-to-man. And if you're Illinois, you got to get the ball in Williams' hands and make Felton have to handle him right here.
That's the matchup, but Williams didn't put it on the floor. Back out to Ingram. Here he goes.
I'm surprised Williams isn't recognizing this. You've got to get the 3rd foul on him when you have an opportunity like this in the first half.
8 seconds on the shot clock. It's Ingram.
Nice
3.
release.
And Luther head. able to run out, chase it down. They'll get a new 35.
Jim, how many times do we say the long shots will be long rebounds? And there's a situation where Felton gets caught inside. He points to himself saying, my fault. Pretty good possession for Illinois that time, getting a second chance opportunity.
And the basket by Darren Williams.
McCants taking head down inside, wanting to post up.
And look at D. Brown get the hands in there. May, he traveled
Yes,
first.
he did.
Yes, he did.
Some sloppy passing by North Carolina on the perimeter. 2 in a row.
He was the original rebel of rock and roll. Don't miss the movie event of the year. It's Elvis, featuring over 20 original recordings by the King himself. It's coming to CBS this May.
And I think a very good move by Roy Williams to get Felton on that bench, not picking up his third. He comes in with Scott.
Also comes in with Rayshawn Terry, number 3. Williams trying to take advantage of that first series without Felton on the floor.
May walked again and got by with that one.
Yep, looked like he backpedaled. McCants driving in, and again gets a soft roll around the rim.
And a smart play by May, not going up there and touching that ball while it was on the cylinder.
McCants has 11. And the lead back to 10.
Isn't McCants kind of amazing, Jim? He's had some huge games against top teams like Connecticut last year in beating the #1 Connecticut club.
Another offensive rebound. And look from behind at Sean May, cleaning it right out of the hands. McCants, big 3.
Terrific thinking by May. Instead of giving up the ball, he kept the dribble alive and forced Illinois to go back inside. You don't find many big men that think like that on the fast break.
They've got a 4-second differential here. Down 13. Only the second time they've been down by this many all season. Of course, Arizona was the other in the miracle comeback.
I saw Joe Holiday doing his Rick Pitino impersonation, stomping his foot on the floor. You talked about on Saturday.
The 2 on the shot clock. Head not in time. Not even an attempt.
How about that? Terry comes off the bench and comes up with an excellent defensive play. An Illinois team that normally is thinking clearly didn't on that possession. Plenty of time here. You got Felton back in the ball game. And I think if with 3-9, good time to penetrate with Felton and kick out to McCants. And how about the fact with Augustine, Jim, and the foul problems early, has had to be on that bench, I would say, for a good portion of this second half, and not a factor in the game.
Saw the number of times that Illinois has trailed this season at halftime.
This is very dangerous inbounds pass. Brown is so quick. There ought to be somebody back there setting the screen on Felton.
The biggest deficit of the season at the half was 6 in a game against Purdue, and it's now double digits, and will North Carolina add to it?
And Roy Williams sees that right away, brings May down court. What you want to do, because Brown is so fast, is never let him be one-on-one on the inbounds pass.
McCants now joins May.
And what McCants is doing is saying, guys, penetrate and kick it out to me, because Head will have to make the decision. Does he stay with me or go to help on the dribble? You're going to watch. Felton's going to come flying off of May here and try to take this ball down the middle. Here he comes. There's the kick.
McCants with another 3. Oh, that sure looked like he had the angle on it.
That was a good idea, though, by North Carolina, and almost got it to work.
Pleased Roy Williams shaking his head. 40-27 North Carolina at halftime. Greg and company coming up with the singular at the half. Illinois can tap into that experience from 9 days ago. Just to think back what they did against Arizona, coming back from 15 down to win that game.
There'll be no quit in this team. That Arizona was extremely talented ball club. So I would expect that the first 2 minutes of this second half is going to be very important for Illinois to show they can get back in this thing, get it down under double digits.
On the baseline, Augustine, quiet night for him. Manuel snags it for the Tar Heels.
Probably not the shot you want to fade away by Augustine as the first shot of the half.
Lob it
right
over the top, and May converts.
And there's May utilizing the left hand, the right hand, the wide body. Augustine can't get to him.
And there's the number, 15, the magic number at comeback against Illinois, or against Arizona. And Luther Head comes right down, responds with a 2.
That's who I thought should have taken the first shot. He was 2 for 9 in the first half. You don't need Augustine taking a fadeaway jumper to start the half.
McCants led North Carolina, 14 points in that first half. Here he is.
Now they've got Powell over on May. Gives up a lot of size.
McCants in the lane, and Augustine's going to be slapped with his third.
Yep, a reach by Augustine. A good job by McCants coming to that jump stop inside with those long arms. He's pretty strong when he takes it inside. And they're going to leave Augustine on the floor. I think Bruce Weber's doing the right thing here. You've got to get back into this ball game with your best players.
Manuel on the drive, and hold on a minute. Outside will be Augustine again. It is number 4, just seconds later.
Jim, Augustine, the most valuable player in the Big Ten tournament, where he was awesome on defense. And you see, reaching in, not moving his feet, just not solid defense by a guy who has been so solid.
Ingram takes up his position. He'll check in here shortly, and Manuel at the line for Carolina.
And if you're Illinois, thank goodness for Ingram. He had 7 points and 6 rebounds in the first half in a great performance on his part, but now he's going to be expected to play long minutes against, more than likely, May.
Augustine picking up 2 quick ones in the first minute, 10 seconds of the second half.
Very valuable loss there. Good blocking out, but nobody goes for the ball.
And McCants dumps it right back to May, and again, May banks it home.
Jim, Powell is too small for May. You pointed out when Powell was standing beside you the other day, he's more like 6'5", maybe 6'4.5". May just plays over the top of him.
And look at D. Brown come down and hit the 3.
Right into May again with those great hands, and loses that one.
Yep, but the hands are still at work. And last touch by Illinois, and Bruce Weber can't believe it.
This goes to show you how quick T. Brown is. Slapping that ball away from May, but you can see what Roy Williams wants to do for North Carolina right now. Get the ball to the big man in the middle who leads this tournament in rebounding and total points scored.
No question who has been the most outstanding single player of the tournament. And that is Sean May. And they're trying again to work it in his direction, but in the meantime, Felton left open for the corner 3.
How about Manuel? The shakiest ball handler on the floor for North Carolina has made 2 great cross-court passes in which they turned out to be perfect 3-point shots for his teammates.
One in the first half.
Yep. Skip
pass to the other side. Both times he set up Felton for 3s.
And both times Williams was guarding him and didn't attack him.
D. Brown gets McCants to commit. Head, he'll take the 3 and answers. Luther Head.
Illinois with that great outside perimeter passing. They are looking for May inside. He's being patient.
Watt Williams over Powell. Tough shot. But May is there, and he jams it down.
Ingram thought he was going to go soft with the left hand. May realized that, used it in the right hand, and just stuffed it. He is so clever in there with either hand. North Carolina showing a little zone now. He's got this lead. Look for the perimeter shooting to pick up for Illinois. Cross court, pretty good adjustment by the zone.
Good screen. Williams takes advantage. Darren Williams.
But if you're Illinois, you can't trade baskets.
McCants on the drive and a foul outside. No basket. On Darren Williams. Watch Sean May.
Watch it with his hands. He's going up with the right, and he doesn't need the left, so he just dunks it. Surprises Ingram right here by dunking with the right hand.
Put that last foul in the column for Luther Head, his first. Bruce Weber way out on the floor as Jawad Williams puts up the 3. Head gets the rebound.
Got some numbers if Brown will hustle on the other side.
Stutter step move, gets him free for the basket. Beautiful piece of work by Luther Head.
And a nice screen by Powell into the basket.
Luther Head. Meanwhile, Felton, quick shot. Breaking is D. Brown. Darren knows it would be a force to get it ahead to him. Whips it instead, open 3, big one. Head hits it.
Good comeback by Illinois here.
This team, Jim, has lost one ball game this year. They've been #1 in the country way back since December. You're not going to see any quit in this club.
Luther Head was 16, 10 of them coming here in the first 4 minutes of the half. It's a 10-2 run for the Illini.
It's been a game of runs.
McCants has it knocked loose. Marvin Williams, short with the shot. David Noel poked in the eye, and they'll stop playing.
How often has Noel come up with the big rebound? He doesn't have big stats, but he doesn't throw the ball away. Comes up with big rebounds. Solid performer off the bench.
Felton hits a three, but Illinois is back to within 7. The crowd has come to life here as Illinois comes charging back to begin the second half. Look at Dee Brown, accidentally. A swipe right across the eye of David Noel.
Noel is going to sit down. Manuel comes out for him. Illinois crowd gets into the ball game. Got to help their team. But Jim, when you think about Augustine sitting on this bench, remember against Nevada, 23 points, 10 rebounds. In the first round, 11 points and 15 rebounds against Farley Dickinson. He's been putting up some big numbers. But tonight, because of fouls, he was relegated to the bench.
As you said, also Big Ten tournament MVP.
Powell now on May.
Marvin Williams on the three, and look at Luther Head hustle. He tips it over to preserve possession for Illinois.
Been getting some good screens to open up fellas on the outside now. Here you see Powell screening on Felton.
This bunch has come back by hitting its last 6 shots. Darren Williams, will they make it 7? Yes, with a 3.
Now they've made some great comebacks. Michigan State, Wisconsin.
Marvin Williams. Boy, did he want that one.
Yes, he did. Ingram was surprised he put it on the floor.
Boy, as the pace quickened, and Felton almost able to scoop it up. That ball fumbling around. The head comes off the screen.
Ingram can take that shot. May will have to play him solid. There's a foul on Manuel.
That'll be number 4.
He's having the same kind of problems as Augustine. You can see the tempo picking up. Quicker legs now for Illinois. Much more confidence on the shot.
4 on Manuel. He'll go out. David Noel is ready to get back in. Here he is.
Now Carter comes in to spell Ingram. Nice move by Coach Weber here because he's got to keep Ingram somewhat fresh, knowing he's not used to playing those extended minutes.
You think, though, it could be a big chance for Carolina at the other end, wouldn't you?
Well, with Carter out there, here's Ed.
Yep, that ends the streak. Made shots, but Carter keeps possession.
Ooh, I thought Head had an opportunity to put up another shot. Wanted to occupy a little clock, get a better one.
Darren Williams. Another huge shot by Darren Williams. So cool.
And Felton gets caught behind the screen. Roy Williams may have to go back to his zone because his guys are not getting out on the shots.
They've hit 5 out of 6 from beyond the arc in this half. Noel. And a foul on Illinois.
Surprise Powell left May on that one. You've got to let Carter hold your own because May is the kind of guy who'll foul up a missed shot.
That was on Carter. Tonight, The Late Show. Don't miss P. Diddy. And tomorrow, Dave's All New with Drew Barrymore and Charles Barkley on The Late Show. David Letterman. Now, Noel struggled at the line on Saturday.
Just a 53% foul shooter.
They'll shoot a pair. Well.
But right now, North Carolina was willing to trade baskets. And Illinois was not accepting that. And with that terrific perimeter passing of theirs, they've had a lot of wide open looks for 3.
May, hold on, they're going the other way. May pushed off to get that offensive rebound. His first.
We'll see if he pushed off here. I think he just curled in. I don't think that was a foul at all. I think he just curled in and Powell fell down but picked up the call.
52-48.
This is some comeback.
They were down 15, Billy.
Yep, and they do go to the zone. So we can't stop a man-to-man. Let's see if we can take away some of that outside shooting with zone.
Over the top, and Noel knocks it out, trying to hit Carter inside.
Good eye contact by Noel on that pass.
14 on the shot clock.
Back to man on that out-of-bounds situation. And let's see if the North Carolina players will start fighting over some of these screens to stop this outside shooting.
Deep down, and May goes over to get it. 13 minutes to go in the championship.
Not the same fast break where the ball's not in Felton's hands, is it?
Nope.
There you see Powell really bodying May down inside.
Hands. That one influenced by the Illini.
And here comes Powell beating May down the floor, as is Carter.
Oh, the launch. Powell's in the right place again.
That was a situation where Illinois just beating North Carolina down the floor. They're putting much more energy into the ball game right now.
Right back to May, and one. And one for Sean May. Illinois raining threes in this second half.
Well, Jim, we talked about this is their game with great passing and three fellas that can spot up and look. And with Ingram on the floor, you have that dangerous fourth shooter as well. North Carolina not fighting out to get in position defensively.
Carter goes out. He gave them some very aggressive time while he was in there. And Ingram back on the floor. May adds to his total. He's putting up big numbers in this half.
That was a big three-pointer the traditional way right there. North Carolina goes back to that point 1-3-1 zone.
Double up on head. Luther head. Fires. Skids off the rim.
Nice rebound that time by...
Boy, Felton was tiptoeing on that sideline.
And they ought to go right back into May every time because Powell's on him. They can get him into foul trouble. There they go again.
And again, the great hands. Bullying his way. Power move. You better believe it.
That's where North Carolina needs to go. The problem is May's getting a little tired right now. They may have to give him a slight blow or call a timeout just to rest him.
Darren Williams. He shows no signs of slowing down.
And Jim, what's happening to North Carolina defensively? Every time they're screened, they are accepting the screen and not fighting over it. Consequently, Illinois getting good looks.
Williams with 11 and a half, 15 for the night.
They take Powell off of May. Try to go with Ingram. They need a double down help here. And there it comes.
Somebody's open. It's Jawad Williams. The senior hits the big three.
How about that smart play by May? He sensed the double team coming from Powell. It was a good maneuver by Coach Weber and a good reaction by May. Smart play. But it's about the only thing they can do to stop the big guy down inside. They've got to double down from the weak side.
Down low, Powell able to get to a spot, and Carolina lost him.
Yeah, they do, Jim, because they're not fighting through screens.
Illinois calls timeout. Turn it into a thriller in St. Louis. Illinois and its faithful. They've turned this dome, such huge support here from the neighboring state. And they turn it into the Orange Bowl here in St. Louis. You talk about programs with the most wins in the NCAA tournament, Billy, without ever having won the championship. Illinois at the head of that list.
Well, they've been to the Final Four, but it's never worked out for them. Actually, they played in Seattle in the first time that 4 teams got to the Final Four. Their nemesis on those runs always happened to be Kentucky.
Well, all those wins, but never a win until this weekend in the semifinal. First time in the championship game, and they fought back from 15 down. Spin move, May. Just the hardest man to stop on the floor, no question.
And Jim, I cannot believe that for the next few minutes, anytime he touches it, Illinois has got the double down.
Timeout. He'll go for the 3 in a moment. Sean May has missed one shot tonight from the field, 10 out of 11 on his 21st birthday, trying to put Champaign on hold. Champaign-Urbana, the Illinois campus, that is, and wearing the jersey number of his father, the player of the year back in '76. The numbers are somewhat similar, but Sean will no doubt add to those totals as we still have 10:29 on the clock.
And if Bob Knight would have his way and Sean May's father Scott had not been hurt in 1975, he might have been to back-to-back national championships, because that Indiana team many people felt was even better than the great undefeated club of '76.
Unable to convert the three-point play. The margin 7. Luther Head coming up with another big second half, as he has done in the last 2 Illinois victories in this tournament.
Great screening by Illinois to get men open. Here's one by Ingram.
Williams wanting to work on Felton. 4 on the shot clock. Do they know it? Do they know it? This cost him in the first half. Williams gets it away.
In time.
And Powell underneath. They're going to keep it right here and call it on Jawad Williams of North Carolina.
There's Powell just out fighting Williams as he did in the first half.
His first.
Had the leverage, Jim. He's nowhere near as tall as Williams. He got underneath and just held his ground.
I've had a lot of people remark about that follow-up dunk that Roger Powell had in the game Saturday. Many people saying they've never seen a guy shoot a 3 and follow his own missed 3 with a dunk, as Powell did in that game. Big miss there as the floater doesn't fall for Darren Williams.
Williams might have found out something, though, on that play. He can go inside.
Look at the pass. Noel, and May hits the deck, but he'll go to the line. Called on Roger Powell. A big thud, but he's fine. Second
Really
on Powell.
Went down hard here. Nothing to support him. And Jim, I mentioned on Saturday, May is now back into the lead of the leading scorer and rebounder in this tournament. Only Danny Manning falling into that category. 8 guys have done it. Only Danny Manning is a guy in 1988 was the leading scorer and rebounder in the tournament, and also led his team to the championship and the MOP. It's amazing when you think of all the great players that have played in this tournament. Guys that did do it: Elgin Baylor and Jerry West and Bill Bradley. But Kareem Jabbar never did it. Bill Walton never did it. And it's kind of amazing. Misses 1 of 2.
He's made 1 of 3 here in the last minute, and Carolina leads it at 63-55.
Watch this screening by Illinois. All 5 players screening and moving without the ball.
Powell was begging for it underneath. Work it back to his side. To the corner. Double up on Darren Williams. Ingram with 5 on the shot clock. Tipped out and snagged by Felton. He is off and running. And Ingram with the reach around.
That's over the top. May with that good positioning, causing some serious problems now. Are they going to come back with Augustine? 8:51 to go. See if he can stay on the floor for a few minutes.
Well, that's already 3 on Ingram as well.
Yeah, but that's why I think that now would be the time to come back with Augustine, because you're going to keep Ingram fresh to score.
NCAA March Madness on demand gives you total access to the tournament. You can go back and replay all the games in the video archive, highlights and more, ncaasports.com or cstv.com. It's going to be a 1-and-1 here for May. Earns another. 23 for the game, 15 in the second half.
And you know, May, by being the regional MVP last weekend, Jim, became the 13th North Carolina player to be a regional MVP. Some real stats on the part of that university.
Well, I'll say this, if they can hold on for the last 850, they'll add a little hardware to his portfolio. D. Brown, 3. Oh, that was down and out. Marvin Williams underneath for the Tar Heels.
And Cance did not get out there and gave Brown a real good look. Williams will take that jump shot. Good job by Powell to get out on him.
Look at May. Darren Williams defends, tips it over to get it clear, and D. Brown lays it in.
Terrific anticipation by Williams. He knew where that ball was going to go. And Felton didn't take up the space.
That is the first turnover in the second half for either side. 12 minutes into the half.
That's kind of like the Louisville game last Saturday with Louisville and Illinois. Both have only one turnover apiece in the first half.
Again, the goal, get it into May, who would be the outstanding player if Carolina won. Marvin Williams.
Just can't get anything to fall of late. Opportunity to come back with a three again. Boy, look at Head coming off a double screen and gets them both.
Brown trying to create. Outside Ingram. He's getting the jumpers today, the opportunities, and he's hitting a number of them.
And Jim, when a shooter like Ingram who doesn't play sustained minutes can still make his jump shot having to play so much tough defense, that kind of surprises me. That really shows a lot of a guy coming off of that bench.
Felton wanting to challenge Darren Williams. Taking it inside.
Got it blocked.
Yep. He had nowhere to go.
And Felton with a reach picks up a cheap foul.
Going to be the third on Felton. It'll be Illinois ball as they keep bouncing back the Fighting Illini.
Jim, we see the balance right here. We see 6 for 12 from a standpoint of three-point shooting for Illinois, but that's offset by the outstanding play by May, who's going to get a rest now. Augustine comes back in the game. Now, I think if Coach Weber had seen that May was going to sit down, he would have kept Augustine out of the ball game. Because you've got Ingram, who's not going to have to guard, can be out there to score a little more.
So saw in that summary that May is 10 of 11. A little history in this city with performances like that. 1973's championship game in St. Louis. Bill Walton with only one miss from the floor in the title game. Head with a three. And Augustine has to be careful. Backed away. Jawad Williams takes it for the Tar Heels.
Now, Jim, imagine as if May goes 10 for 10 the rest of the game, he'll equal what Bill Walton did. 21 of 22.
That's right. Still got a ways to go. Oh, that is on Augustine.
Can you believe
That
this?
last one on Augustine, and he's finished.
Is this amazing? A ball game in which he had 5 touch fouls, Jim. He did not have a hard foul in this ball game. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time for 5 fouls. The MVP of the Big Ten tournament puts out his hands. He can't believe it.
In not even 9 full minutes total tonight. Fouls out.
When they go back and review the tape of this game, and Augustine certainly will do that as a guy who has more time to play at Illinois, he'll realize that those were all touch fouls. He didn't move his feet, got himself in a bad position. I didn't think he should have been in the ball game anyway at that point because May was sitting down.
So Ingram is right back on the floor with 6:49 to go. 1-1 for Marvin Williams.
Marvin Williams not getting anything to fall. Premier foul shooter on this North Carolina club. Just not getting that stroke.
Not the last 2 nights.
Yeah, that was some screen by Powell. Good screen by Ingram.
Illinois trying to cut into it, and Lutherhead gets the bounce. Back to 4.
Illinois setting some great screens in this second half.
Sean May is on his feet. We'll check in on the next whistle. McCants scoreless in the second half. Had the last basket of the first half when they went into the locker room with a 13-point lead, and a whistle, and it's going back the other way.
That's Marvin Williams trying to get position on Powell inside.
The second on Marvin Williams. Thursday nights, more people watch CBS than any other network on any night. And this Thursday, see for yourself what makes CBS America's most watched network. CSI without a trace.
And Jim, with this team on the floor right now, I think that Williams should move this ball on the perimeter, get these screens, and look for a three from Head coming off a screen. Here he comes.
Already set a record for most 3 attempts in a championship. And look at Ingram. Wow, what about the unexpected boost tonight?
And Jim, he's not doing it as a bench player tonight. He's playing extended minutes. McCants, who has been no factor in the second half, tries to make something happen. Nothing there.
And no whistle. Illinois coming out, can tie it or take the lead with a 3. T. Brown, a push off, and he's going to the line for 2. Illinois having scored 8 unanswered.
And for the first time, I see the North Carolina players looking uncertain among themselves.
And look who commits it, Billy. It's Felton with his 4th.
Now, if you're Roy Williams, you got to go back to that zone defense. You cannot let Felton stay on the floor playing man-to-man. First time I've seen some uncertainty in the eyes and the reactions of the North Carolina players.
And brings it to 1. Carolina with 2 players, 4 fouls, 2 starters. Felton and Manuel. Augustine already out. Already disqualified. Brown to tie the championship. And his mother Kathy approves. They've come all the way back. 15 again. The deficit they've overcome.
Remember now, Felton's got 4 fouls. He's got to be careful anytime he drives to the basket.
Juwan Williams.
Oh, and who's on Felton right now? The shutdown man. They're on Williams.
Felton, long 3. That wasn't only beyond the arc. That was beyond the arch here in St. Louis.
And double teamed by Brown and Williams. Huge shot.
Boy, that was a tough one. They were draped all over him.
Oh, there's another solid screen.
Darren Williams, 2-pointer. Yes. Down to 1.
Now, you know where North Carolina wants to go with the ball. They want to go to May. But sometimes when you go so much to one guy, it takes away your motion. Referees tell Coach Weber to get back on the bench.
Melvin Scott into May. Back down to the big man.
There's
and
a
push off on Ingram, his 4th. Boy, after Ingram, the only man with size you have is Nick Smith, and he saw little action in the first half. Felton had 2 players crashing in on him, Darren and D, but he got it to go. So 4 on Ingram. Augustine already out.
And about the only man of size, you've got Nick Smith, but he hasn't shown he can be effective in this game. Would they come back with Smith or would they come back with Carter?
By the way, it's double bonus the rest of the way as Illinois 10 team fouls to take out Jawad, bring in Marvin.
And remember, there's another guy, Jim, with 4 fouls on that I think may be as important as the Ingram situation, and that's Felton for North Carolina. A lot of time to play in this game, and you know how important he is as their primary ball handler. May, a 76% free throw shooter.
Jackie Manuel back in with his 4 fouls, and May gets them both.
And they go zone.
It's like a 1-3-1,
Yep.
Billy.
Yeah, they go zone. They use this point zone. Designed by Dean Smith many years ago. Felton out on the top. Good patience by Illinois.
Under 4 to play. 3 would tie again.
Heads open.
6 on the shot clock. Darren Williams, 3-pointer. And Ingram lucky to get away without the call there. And Marvin Williams on the floor. Do they call a travel? They're going to call it back to Illinois.
Marvin Williams today, Jim, do you notice how jittery his hands are? He has not caught a clean ball today. Off the boards or with a pass.
Illinois has not turned it over once in this half. Illini ball when we come back. Jim Nantz along with Billy Packer. Illinois storming back from 15 down. Illinois ball. Roy Williams in his 3rd championship game. 2 with Kansas, losing to Duke in '91, Syracuse 2 years ago. And for his critics, this would be just a field day for them. It would be a damaging loss to Roy Williams if his team was unable to hold on for victory in this one. The great coach with 40 tournament wins and 5 Final Fours.
And only the 3rd coach to take 2 different teams to a Final Four. North Carolina connections with those other 2 guys. Frank McGuire, who did it with St. John's in North Carolina, and Larry Brown, the alumnus, who did it with UCLA, and of course winning at Kansas. So he's got a lot going for him. But as you said, Jim, he has not won, as they say, the big one yet. There's that zone defense, a lot of screening by Illinois. The second half, I think Illinois' screening has been truly outstanding. Here comes Ingram.
In a 3 would tie.
Oh, Ingram didn't see the pass.
But look at Darren Williams. So cool. This could tie it. Deep round short. Long board. Felton able to grab it.
And maybe the only guy capable of getting to the ball before D. Brown.
Melvin Scott put up the quick jumper, and with 3 minutes to go, it is still 3.
I don't know if that was a wise move. You've got Ingram a little bit tired. Wait for May to get down the floor. If you're North Carolina, use the clock and go to your big man who they haven't stopped yet. The other thing, referees are not calling moving screens, so you might as well keep on doing it. Head over.
Tie it. Yes, he does. Luther head, and we're knotted at 70. Timeout, North Carolina. Well, folks, if you love college basketball, you've been waiting for this one for several months. 2:32 to decide it. 3 timeouts on each side. Remember, the arrow, Carolina. And let's check the CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Because of Sean May, points in the paint. You can get all your tournament coverage and stats, complete game stats, CBSSportsline.com.
Jim, I'll tell you a crazy stat. Bruce Weber is 48-1 when his team scores over 70 points. They're on 70. The only loss, and that was to North Carolina.
88-81 early last year, last season. Every other time they've hit 70 points, he's won. Only Carolina. Marvin Williams and the freshman really having a hard time with this big stage tonight.
Never got a chance to go inside to May because Powell was fronting him. North Carolina wouldn't be patient enough. Can they take the lead in this one?
They tied it twice.
Yes.
Adams led in the second half. That's over the backboard.
Good open look that time for Williams.
2:01 on the clock and back to the Tar Heels.
If you are Roy Williams, you've got to tell your 4 players on that floor, you see the guy down in the paint, number 42, we do not take another shot till he touches it.
How about McCants? Where has he been after leading the way in the first half? Shutout in the second stanza.
Well, I think a 2-man game with McCants and May is what North Carolina needs to employ right now. Here's we're going to set a screen on May, rubbing off the screen, looking for the lob. There he goes.
These are the possessions that you'll replay the rest of your life. Every single handle, every dribble, every shot. Under 10 on the shot clock. McCants. Great tipsy-do. Tipped up and in by Marvin Williams.
Left-handed tip, and he beat May to it. Give McCants some credit there, Jimmy. Kept the ball alive rather than let it get it blocked.
Carolina back in front at 72-70.
Those are illegal screens. They're not being called.
Head on the drive. Kicks it to the corner. Back around. Over to Head. Again for the lead. Too strong, and Ingram flies for it. The Flying Illini back in control with the ball, and a timeout by Illinois with 1:04 to play.
And Head would love to have that ball back. There was McCants just making a play.
And the tip in by the freshman for the lead. We are back in St. Louis with 1:04 to play. It's Illinois ball, and what do you expect we'll see here from the Illini?
The same thing. Since the referees are allowing screening and moving screens, if you're Illinois, stay with the same offensive tactic. Here Noel comes in, McCants comes out. This is an offensive-defensive shift. I won't be surprised to see Roy Williams get McCants right back over at the scorer's table.
Sean May imploring his teammates. Let's go.
So you have Manuel and Noel out there, 2 of North Carolina's best defensive players on the wing. Manuel on Head.
Over to Darren Williams. This one looks good. Too strong. He had the angle on it, but it was too long, and it's still Illinois ball with 50 seconds.
Again, the ball in Marvin Williams' hands. He just cannot keep control tonight.
Another timeout. Bruce Weber signals. Illinois with a new 35, new life, down 2. Illinois down to 1 timeout. With possession, 50 seconds remaining.
And Jim, a full 35. If you're Illinois, you don't want to rush anything. You just keep moving the ball on the perimeter. As I said, they've set such good screens in the second half that the referees now are allowing an illegal screening motion. So keep running that motion offense till you get the good look.
Down to Luther Head. Manuel looking on.
Good patience.
Very patient indeed, under 40.
Brown's got quickness on Noel.
It's head in the paint. That ball stripped away. Stolen by Felton. First turnover of the half by Illinois, and it's a huge one.
And a foul is in order right here. Williams has to foul because, Jim, there was basically no time on that shot clock differential.
Williams with his third.
You saw the kick out that Head had in mind, and a good anticipation by Felton.
Remember, double bonus, so 2 shots for Raymond Felton.
Only a 69% free throw shooter.
Father dropped his head for a moment. Raymond Sr., mom and dad.
So important here, Jim. With 25 seconds to go, you get 3. The worst you can do, even on 1 shot, is a tie.
You get the last shot for the win.
That's right.
Timeout called by North Carolina. Called by Carolina. They've got the 3-point lead. Bruce Weber diagramming a play for his team. He told them in the late stages of that miracle comeback against Arizona, look into my eyes. During a timeout, he told his team, we are not ready to lose.
Good idea by North Carolina to pick up full court. Take as much time off this clock as possible. Williams, and then they drop back. They drop back in man-to-man. Felton on Williams.
Under 20 seconds. Luther Head can tie it right here. Luther Head bounces up and on top of the backboard and out to Felton. Felton with a foul called on Darren Williams.
Head had 2 good looks, Jim. Looked like they were actually going in from our angle, and
Sure
both
did.
of them hit that rim and bounced high and out. Young man was, here you see Head. Excellent shot. There you see the perfect screening by Illinois. You really thought that ball was going down.
Couldn't have asked for a better look. Luther Head, senior, who rooms with Dee Brown and has a poster in the room. Illinois basketball history in the making. But they'll have to really pull off some rally now. 2-possession game. Saw Megan Weber a moment ago.
First team All-American player. He's made great adjustments to his shot to make himself a more complete player, and hits them both.
Wow, Felton hits his last 3, and there's another timeout call by North Carolina. It's Monday night. A guy named Raymond stars in the late stages for North Carolina. Just under 10 seconds to go. Roy Williams, that far away from bringing a national championship back to his alma mater. And as Sean May said, there's nothing he wants more than a championship for Coach Roy. I want 20 years from now, after he's won a number of them, to remember this group bringing him his first. They let Darren Williams drive, kick out. 5 seconds. Illinois has to get off the shot. Rebound Carolina with 1 second, and that is it. There is a new dean in college basketball. North Carolina takes the title.
And Jim, guys now 3 of the last 4 years from their alma maters have won the national championship. Gary Williams, Boeheim, and now Roy Williams.